15 minutes in to the derby. Played it out to the first half there and was back in action. Off the bench with the mask last weekend. Gibson with Welly Sol. Gets it wide to Ingham. He's not a frequent goal scorer, Dane Ingham. Thought he'd try his luck there from a long way out.
Well, the early signs for Newcastle, which I think are laudable. To try and pin the Wanderers in, close them in before they can get into any rhythm, and must be sensing there has to be some sort of nervous tension around the Red and Blacks this evening, given the start to the season.
That's a good ball up the line. Releasing Sapsford. The flag has stayed down. Borello's charging into the middle. And Ryan Scott very casually walked out to claim it. Welly Sol against Gabriel Clerc. A bit of holding on. Gabriel Clerc asking Jack Morgan to keep an eye on it. Jack Morgan, who was in charge of Melbourne victory versus MacArthur last week, in which, shall we say, the game was allowed to flow. Mentioned that Western Sydney are yet to win any of their 5 matches when he was referee. One of them last season ended 7-0 against Melbourne City. So not necessarily bringing back happy memories. Free kick on Welly Sol. Daniel Wilmering. And that left foot standing over this one. His captain, Costa Grozos, is there as well. 73rd A-League match for the Jets, but a 50th start for the captain wearing the number 17. It is Wilmering. Ball to the back post. Holmes came a long way before letting it run out.
That's a waste. And a hit from Daniel Wilmering, former ball boy of the Western Sydney Wanderers, who graduated to a first-grade contract but has since departed and now finds himself attacking the goal that he defended so bravely for so many games. But that was a poor free kick from him.
I mentioned Costa Grozos. Thomas Aquilina and Mark Natter are the other former Wanderers in the Jets lineup. Oh, as Bonatig taking a couple of risks, running the ball out from the back. And they have turned over possession. First touch of the evening for Eli Adams. Wilmering back with Natter. Alexander Shushnia, who was with Wanderers coach Alan Stajic at Perth last season. Header from Bonatig, who thought for a moment there he was being penalised. It's a offside flag against Welly Sol.
I think that's a really good sign, Robbie. You might think, well, Welly Sol's an easier target because he's rather diminutive, but I think the 2 centre-halves for the Wanderers at key moments in the opening 3 games have, to put it frankly, been too soft. And particularly the guy taking the free kick now, Jong Tae-wook, 6'5". I mean, he's been brought in here to be a standover man, and he's not been standing over enough people, not in key moments. And I think at those key moments the Wanderers have heard, and that's one thing that the message, in my opinion, needs to get to the team, that the fight has to start in the centre of defence, and those balls that come through unceremoniously have to be cleared.
The comparison is all the more stark when you consider he's replacing Marcelo, the Brazilian who was captain of this Wanderers last year.
I mean, he was in the discussion of the great centre-halves to play in the league. Mathieu Delpierre, Minda Silva, Patrick Svansvik, etc., etc., etc. So it's a harsh comparison to make, but that's the atmosphere into which he's entered.
Ben Gibson thought he got just enough of the ball on that one before catching the foot of Bonatig. Brillante with Kleur. That's a good ball for Milanovic. They're in behind them here. The cut back. Cleared by Grozos. Turn behind, first corner of the evening for the home side.
The Jets defence has obviously been watching Daniel McBreen's video analysis, because they boxed up nicely around the 6-yard area there, the Jets defence.
Corner taken quickly. In it comes, near post. Ball bouncing around. It was Božidar Krajev at the near post looking to get the touch, and straight back in. Over the crossbar from Panasopoulos. What a return to the starting 11 that would have been for him.
Well, the Jets, having defended the situation to concede the goal very well, now it's a lot of second guessing, very tentative as it drops to Panasopoulos. I think it's safe to say it should be 1-0 to the Wanderers.
Arrived at the start of last season at the Wanderers. Anthony Panasopoulos was part of that fantastic Oakley Cannons side that made it all the way to the semi-finals of the Australia Cup 2 years ago. Oakley, one of the big players in the Victorian NPL still. Gibson was looking to cross towards Wellisol. Corner up the other end this time.
Clean work on the far touchline by Eli Adams. Talked pre-game to our Scotty McKinnon about the confidence of Tristan McManus, actually, about the confidence from coaching staff and players, and his performance last start. 2 very good goals, and he was pretty sharp down the left then. That was well defended by Western Sydney. Promising attack for Newcastle.
Set piece with Wilmering again. Just as he was about to begin his run-up, Jack Morgan says, this scrum of players around Jordan Holmes inside the 6-yard box, that there's to be no grappling with the arms. And lining up man for man in there around the goalkeeper, Jordan Holmes. Wilmering delivers. It's a good ball there. Bodies falling everywhere. Mark Natta claiming he was the one being fouled.
Well, that was pretty folk football-esque from the 1840s. But the Wanderers dealt with it well.
And Jordan Holmes getting an easy, soft free kick out of that one. Clearance that went straight out of play. You can hear the drums, and did spot a trumpet in the RBB early today. That's nicely done again from Aquilina. Goes down under the challenge with Brillante. Milanovic, his flick, falls to Shikluna. Now Borello. Shikluna again. Krajev. Back to his feet, looked out left towards Panasopoulos and turned back towards Gabriel Kleur. Jong. Now the cross in back post, it's beyond Milanovic. Out for a throw. There's the brass section of the RBB. Real South American feel in the red and black block. Shikluna taking an age, somehow manages to come away with the ball. Borello, a little touch for Milanovic, danger for the Newcastle goal, and Ryan Scott is grateful to see that one flash across the face.
It was a good chance for the Wanderers, one that probably, given Dylan Shikluna was dilly-dallying and they didn't really deserve, but as it worked out, Borello could then get the ball through to Milanovic, and the ball just stopped. Didn't quite get the run on it that he needed. Open up the hips and shoot for goal, but he could just pull it wide. There's the challenge. Brillante hitting and spinning to take the ball away from Aquilina.
Ryan Scott's clearance didn't make it anywhere near the halfway line. The Wanderers have the ball straight back again. The overall record historically between these two sides is quite even. 11 wins for the Wanderers, 9 for the Jets with 12 draws, but the Jets have won just one of their last 10 against Western Sydney. And their last win away came back in 2019. Kraeff, ball into the feet, the 1-2 with Borrello, a little bit telegraphed. Borrello might get it back again though. A ball of energy, Brandon Borrello around the edge of the area. Kleur gets it back in for Sapsford across the face of goal. And Milanovic wasn't close enough. It's with Kraeff now. Patiently brings it all the way back out with Bonneting. The Wanderers on top at the moment as Sapsford attacks that one at the back post.
Well, they've had some nice sights of goal, the Wanderers. And Sapsford now shielding the ball and shooting on the turn, but again pulling it away from that far post. And then as Bonneting, with that lovely left footer, he delivers the ball in. Sapsford leaps and risks a bang on the hooter, which would be very sore, you can imagine. The header goes wide.
Well, it underlines just how important Alan Stajic feels that Zach Sapsford is for this side. Important enough to see Juan Mata put back on the bench as Wellisol is caught there by the arm of Jong, perhaps.
Very delayed reaction.
Still down, I can tell you, some 30 seconds after, just getting back to his feet.
Don't think there's much in that. John Taylor.
Thank you.
It's a fast learning curve for Wellisol, who has clearly been surprised by the physical nature of the A-League. And I gauge that on the amount of time he's spent on the ground in previous matches.
I was going to say, he's come out of the second division in Brazil, which is no Sunday school picnic, just for the record.
Adams with Ingham on that right-hand side, cross to the back post. Had a bit of devil about it. Jordan Holmes didn't want to touch it. Wellisol just couldn't arrive in time. The 77th A-League match for the Jets for Dane Ingham, without a goal so far, which is the reference I made to that ambitious effort in the opening seconds of the game. First time for everything, mind you, for the Kiwi international. Jong Tae-wook with Brillante. Coming deep to pick up possession. Jong with Shikluna. Brillante again. They cross the halfway line and then look longer towards Sapsford. Mark Natta with the big up and under. Aquilina already involved in a bit of a battle with Gabriel Kleur. Brillante now for Milanovic. Comes inside onto that left foot. And then gives it away. Intercepted by Grozos. Gibson, that's nicely done, releasing Wellisol. The flag has stayed down for the moment anyway. Against Brillante. Wellisol goes past him, the cutback, and it's in the back of the net. And now the flag has gone up. Eli Adams was celebrating. It will be that initial pass and Wellisol's run near the halfway line.
He sort of looked like he gave himself up as well. He's overstretched by some margin. On the angle of that replay. Does well from this point. He really sells Josh Brillante, who in the end can just reach, but to no effect. But I don't think there's any doubt about the offside, as frustrating as it is for the Jet supporters here in good numbers.
the other end of the field from the RBB. Eli Adams thought he had 3 in 2 games for a moment there. His first ever A-League goal came last season for Melbourne Victory. It was some goal as well. On the way to Perth, the winner. Oh, that was Ryan Scott, got a touch on that. Eli Adams looking to benefit from a prolonged period in the starting 11. Never really got his chance at Melbourne Victory. There's too much competition for places in those wide attacking areas.
Extraordinary long retake. What's going on there? VAR for a goal kick or something.
The Jets didn't like the press. In the end, deciding to go long after a little committee meeting. At the back is Bayliss with Wellisol. Strong challenge by Shikluna again. Wellisol threw himself to ground. Milanovic against Wilmering. Milanovic down to the byline. He's won another corner, which will be taken down in front of those Jets fans.
Might have been more. You know, Dylan Shikluna did very well. His ball winning's great. His pass out of midfield's good. He had no appetite to carry the ball at pace there. And I think he really could have opened up the Wanderers' defence by carrying with purpose, drawing a defender and then releasing Milanovic.
Milanovic's left foot delivers near post, cleared. Sapsford drives it back in. It's a good block from Shushnya and then claimed by Scott. He's already got an assist to his name this season, Zach Sapsford. He's got a couple of A-League goals to his name as well. They both came in derbies against Sydney FC last season, in losing causes in the end. Foul against Eli Adams. Brillante up the line for Klur. Quick little 1-2 with Milanovic. This is nicely played. This is a great touch from Borello. Unceremoniously dumped to the ground by Natta.
Well, yeah, there's raising the threshold on acceptable challenges. Fair enough. But Borello's away. How that's not a yellow card? It's got me beat.
Last weekend set the yellow card threshold a little higher than we had become accustomed to. Well, perhaps that's the new directive, though.
There is part of the new directive, but on that basis, I thought he was going to play on completely.
Milanovic with the free kick. More defending to be done from the Jets. Milanovic goes straight for goal, deflected it in. And Nick Milanovic, who found his scoring boots last season, at the start of this campaign, spoke of his desire to one day represent his country. And he's got his second goal of this campaign already, deflected as it was, to give the Wanderers the lead.
Well, one of those moments for Ryan Scott. Harvey Norman replaying Nick Milanovic hitting the ball nicely. He was going for the near post, and the heavy deflection just gave no Newcastle player any chance. Lockie Bayliss instinctively, with a reflex action, trying to head the ball away, but all he can do is head it past his keeper. And Milanovic free kick yields the result. And after plenty of sights at goal, the Wanderers have got one.
Now they are faced once again with the question, can they keep their opponents out? Because they have their noses in front. But defence has been their Achilles heel so far this season as Holmes comes. Oh, and he's come a long way and can only readjust to head that ball out of play. A-League goal number 17 for Nick Milanovic, and his first against the Jets. That's another team to his list of victims.
And that was well defended by John Tae-wook. Ball over the top. Had some promise from Shushanya. Well, was the target. He was fire blanketed by the Korean. A bit of work.
Newcastle Jets came from behind 2 weeks ago against MacArthur to win, so they know this feeling. They can also take solace from the fact, as again Shikluna is caught in possession, taking an age. In the ball now, Sapsford. Pandazopoulos coming up alongside him. Early pass as well towards Borello. Gets the better of Natta. Kraev back with Borello. He's a long way out. Blocked by Grozos. Oh, and Borello has helped Sapsford get it back again. They're scrapping for everything at the moment. I was going to say, the Wanderers have conceded more shots and more shots on target than any other side in the competition so far after 3 rounds. The Jets have already shown that they can create the danger. There might be some at the other end here. Sapsford with Milanovic, the goal scorer, against Wilmering. Milanovic, the cross. Sapsford is there. Can't keep it down.
Another attack and plenty of promise. The Jets being dispossessed on a couple of occasions now. A little too easily, and the Wanderers springing away nicely. Zopoulos has looked good for the Wanderers down the left, and I don't mind his decision on a couple of occasions now, Robbie, to look to deliver the ball early. And I'd say that's a centre-half speaking, that's better from John Tae-wook. That's what the Wanderers supporters need to see out of their defenders.
Well, Isol somehow got it out the back door to Aquilina. Now Grozos for Ingham. It's look as though the Wanderers have a little bit of an appetite for the duel, for the challenge this evening, perhaps boosted by that goal. Not without a slice of fortune coming off the head of Lockie Bayliss. Kushnya. Umbrella will run everything down and will not stop while he's on the field. That was coolly done by Scott. Adams playing in inverted midfield role at the moment as one of 2 number 10s with Aquilina when they come inside, make space for Ingham. And Wilmering down the flanks. Now he goes and gets it, Eli Adams with Grozos. The cross driven in. Nobody running across the trajectory of the ball, which is what Grozos was asking for. Played for Brisbane Roar 2 seasons ago, Jordan Holmes. Spent last season in the Queensland NPL with the Rochdale Rovers. 18 appearances for them in the State League of Queensland. Adams was surely taken out there. He stayed down. Well, how was that not a free kick?
I don't know.
Well, let's head down to Tristan McManus, who's down there on the sidelines for us. Tristan, what did you make of that?
Oh, it's been a great start. You talked about that South American feel. There's probably more South American feel here tonight than there was last Friday when the Brazilians were in town. But it started off coming from the Jets. I mean, it's like Bielsa murder ball here. Rob keeps saying the grass is wet, it's quick, he wants things done faster, faster, faster. Against the Bulls, Wellisall got 60 minutes of an ear bashing from Rob Stanton. No doubt he got 2 weeks of it with that boy round, and he's been told if he comes deep one more time, he's coming off. He's trying to bully Jung at the back there. Before this game, I probably said he would have got away with it, but Jung's starting to show a bit more aggression, which Wanderers need at the back as well. The RBB are in full voice, and it's exactly what Wanderers need. I think they've missed that nastiness since Marcelo's been gone. They need that back in the team. The home fans here are right behind them, and the confidence is building as the game's going on. It's been great. I absolutely love it. How anyone can be sitting down in this stadium, I will never know.
Thank you, Tristan.
I look like Adams is sitting down, and not because he wants to be. The referee, I don't know how he's... Robbie, explain that one to me.
Well, it was...
I mean, there's raising the threshold and letting things a bit more physical, and I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. But... Wow.
It was Pandazopoulos who came flying in on Eli Adams. Let's hope it's just a knock on that hip or lower back, and nothing more serious than that. We're going to start with a drop ball with referee Jack Morgan. Dylan Shikluna, who's been caught in possession a couple of times.
3. So he's done some very, very good things, but he's been asleep at the wheel 3 times. He's got away with it 3 times, but time number 4 he might not.
Bonatic, here he is again, the number 5, who left Australia very young for the Aston Villa Youth Academy, was at Wolves as well, before returning just a couple of years ago to Australian football. The Wanderers trying to drive home their advantage here. Sapsford, Borello helping it on its way with Kraev. Kleur with Milanovic, again a little bit of space. Milanovic, the touch for Kleur is good, the shot is not bad either. In the end, just flying over the crossbar.
Well, that's the difference in the attack from the Wanderers. Down the near touchline, Kleur and particularly Milanovic is looking to take players on and leave the delivery to late. When it goes down the left-hand side, Pandazopoulos is just knocking the ball in real early.
They've turned it over again, trying to play out. Kleur into the area, tips the ball back on the volley. Oh, and Borello almost got a little touch there to Kraev's volley. Oh, now Zach Sapsford's involved there with Ryan Scott, and the goalkeeper's not happy. Late, a little bit dangerous. Goalkeepers don't like that.
And his broken beak is just face planted as well. Marcus Zora just checking it's still there because it could be 6 inches under the turf. Great chance before that for Kraev. Good player, technical player, Robbie, and that's within the range of makeability, that volley. He didn't look comfortable.
6 goals last year for Wellington Phoenix in their fantastic run for Božidar Kraev. All the way to the semi-finals last year. Newcastle now able to put their foot on the ball, try and get some numbers forward. Wellisall, as we just heard from Tristan, being asked to play very much alongside Ben Gibson in attack. Outnumbered there as Natta looked long. Confident from Holmes. That's a great touch from Kleur. 3-on-3 for the Wanderers. Now Krajev joins the attack. Milanovic goes for goal and scores. Doesn't need any help. Fantastic finish with the left boot. Ryan Scott beaten all ends up. And just past the half hour, the Wanderers lead by 2.
Well, quick break out of the back, care of that glancing header from Gabriel Kleur on the Harvey Norman replay. It's the Wanderers wunderkid, Nicholas Milanovic, shelving himself to 2. He took it all on his own shoulders. He had Zach Sapsford to feed if he wanted, but he took the responsibility and he nailed the finish.
Ryan Scott got a good hand to it, down to his left, but couldn't keep it out. It's now 3 goals and an assist this season for Nick Milanovic. And there's a bit of work for the goal count. We're up to 7. And most importantly, perhaps for Alan Stadic's side, it equals the goals against department this season. Only Perth have conceded more than the Wanderers this season. There we go. All is in order.
Geez, you think I would have made it look a bit happier. And you reckon? Ticking off another one for the Wanderers. He's yet to be convinced, maybe.
Well, it's not the scoring of goals that's been the problem for them, even though they didn't have the most prolific of attacks last season. Brandon Borello was sidelined for much of the campaign. Antonsen went on a bit of a dry run as well in the second half of the campaign, found himself out of the side. He's been unable to force his way back in under Alan Stajic. But now the Jets do have a mountain to climb. There was a real feeling, a buoyant feeling around the Jets after that win over MacArthur. Perhaps the week off has not been the best thing for them, as Bayliss shoots well wide of the mark.
That was a good shooting opportunity for Lockie Bayliss. Wanderers couldn't get the ball clear then. Wilmering strong, Bayliss strong. Aquilina in there as well as the ball falls to Lockie Bayliss. Just didn't balance himself properly. But it was a good shooting opportunity.
Ingham. They've turned it over here. Bayliss goes again, good pace. And now Aquilina against his former club. His search for a first ever A-League goal continues. Good turn of pace from Bayliss.
So here's the chance again. It's a really good chance, and Aquilina needs to do better there. We watched the Jets in warm-up, and Robbie, and you couldn't say you were completely overwhelmed by the shooting drills that were going on.
Natter. All the way back. Let's just say the people behind the goal were not taking their eyes off the ball.
Putting their hand up for some crash odds. But that was a good chance. I mean, all jokes aside, it was a good chance for Thomas Aquilina, as it was for Lockie Bayliss before that. The Wanderers have been much stronger tonight. I think generally over the first 3 rounds, most of their football has been bad. They've been punished summarily on a couple of weak moments, and they've been licking their wounds since. They've been stronger tonight, fewer weak moments. But you still can't be convinced that they're, at this point, have completely pulled themselves out of the hole in which they have found themselves, and that was the chance for the Jets, those last 2 shooting opportunities, to put them under the microscope.
It's well played by Brandon Borello again. He plays in Krajev, perhaps a little wider than the Bulgarian was hoping for. He's kept it alive though with Panasopoulos now. Back with Bonatig, Shikluna. Wanderers, who are enjoying over 60% possession, have had 10 shots to 4 in the contest so far, 3 of them on target. This time, Borrello loses out, then lunges in on Bayliss, and there is the first yellow card of the evening for Brandon Borrello.
Heavy touch, very muscular, good work from Lockie Bayliss. The yellow card is, I think, a fair outcome. Bayliss thankfully back to his feet.
Bayliss, who played his youth football for the Mendel Aces in Darwin. The New Zealand under-23 international. But lured away from the Mariners to the arch rivals. Now Kleur, forced to lunge. He chose the wrong way there for a moment, Gabriel Kleur, but he gets away with it. Kraev. John Tae-wook with Milanovic. Oh, that's dangerous. It's intercepted by Ingham. Bayliss now. Closed down by Shikluna, not strong enough that time from Bayliss. With Sapsford. Milanovic again. Borrello inside. Little 1-2. Milanovic goes again. Kraev arriving at the back post. Milanovic still going one way then the other. The cutback. And cleared by Wilmering. Nice play again from the Wanderers, though, who look dangerous just about every time they come forward this evening. Five minutes to go in the first half. And the Wanderers add a third, or will Newcastle claw their way back into this contest? It will only take a moment to sow a little seed of doubt in this side that's already conceded 7 goals this season, including 4 last week in this very stadium against Adelaide. Challenge on Milanovic, trying to show his teammates how it's done. All the way back to Ryan Scott. His teammate at Western United a couple of years ago. Jamie Young came and took his place there as Western United were crowned A-League champions in 2022. Ryan Scott then seizing the opportunity to return home. More defending to be done. Milanovic looking to complete a first half hat-trick.
Had players in support. And we saw that goal number 2, he was prepared to ignore that, but with the finish to match now, he's just lost his concentration. The angle did open up. Gabriel Kleur on this occasion to his right.
That's a lovely turnover again for Pandazopoulos into the feet of Kraev, but it's a foul by Brillante as the Jets won it back.
Touch from Brandon Borrello. Compromise Josh Brillante.
to Melbourne City at home. Newcastle conceded inside the opening 2 minutes for that win over MacArthur. Next up in 2 weeks' time after the international break for Unite round. All 6 matches of the Isuzu UTE A-League to be played at Allianz Stadium, 2 on the Friday, 2 on the Saturday and 2 on the Sunday. 22, 23, 24 of November. And the F3 Derby headlines the Friday night. Then they travel to Auckland. Are at home to Adelaide and then away to Perth in mid-December. Western Sydney have another Sydney Derby coming up already. They come around fast in this neck of the woods. Round 5, the Unite round. We'll see Sydney host the red and black. Then it's Melbourne City away for the Wanderers, and then they have the bye in the first weekend of December. Sapsford again. He's done well, gets it on to Kleur. Jong all the way across with Panazopoulos. Here's Bonatig. 30 seconds left in regulation time. We will have a couple of minutes of stoppages. The injury to Eli Adams, the couple of goals for Milanovic as well. That's well played by the Wanderers, number 14 for Panazopoulos. Graeff wanted it into feet. And in this first 45 minutes, the Western Sydney Wanderers have made light of all the doom and gloom. The record equaling run of 6 consecutive home defeats. 8 home matches without victory since the Unite round, which was officially an away match for them when they beat Melbourne City here in mid-January. It has been a dominant performance from Alan Stadic's side so far. They have restricted the Jets to very little. A couple of efforts from distance. 1 goal ruled out for a clear offside against Wellisol. Can the Jets find something in the final minute of this first half? Natta with Bayliss. Wilmering. Wellisol leaves it cleverly for Bayliss. Now Aquilina. His cross blocked by Brillante. And the flag is up for offside against Thomas Aquilina.
That's pretty lazy for Aquilina to be so horribly offside in that phase of play, really. Complete switch off.
At 23 years of age, Thomas Aquilina is one of the elder statesmen of this Jets side. Certainly in terms of A-League experience as well. But it has been a difficult opening 45 minutes for the visitors so far. Nick Milanovic and the Western Sydney Wanderers putting their questionable home form to one side in this opening match of round 4 of the Isuzu UTE A-League season. It's been an excellent first half for the home side, and a double from Milanovic in the 22nd and 33rd minutes sees the Wanderers leading the Jets 2-0 at the break.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
jersey. Good run here by La Rocca inside him. It's going to break for him, actually, the Italian, who bends it. Good block from side, but Juric back with a bang! What about the technique from Tommy Juric?
Well, it's a super goal, and that's what strikers thrive on. That's what you want from your striker.
Welcome back to Combank, where Nick Milanovic is the man of the moment for the Western Sydney Wanderers. They lead the Newcastle Jets by 2-0 at half-time. And Robbie Stanton may be regretting his decision to not make any changes to his starting 11 from last week, because he's made 3 at the break. So coming into the game, Justin Vidic up front, Callum Timmins in midfield, and Clayton Taylor also in attack. The players coming off, the Brazilian Wellersol, Ben Gibson in attack, and Daniel Wilmering. So not a happy return for him to Combank Stadium. Thomas Aquilina will head to left back. Clayton Taylor high on the left side of the attack. Vidic through the middle. And Timmins into one of those attacking midfield roles. And the second half is underway with the Newcastle Jets. Andy Harper chasing the game. They will have to do a lot more than they showed in that opening 45 minutes. And before we get your thoughts, it is the Wanderers straight onto the front foot with Borrello. Brandon Borrello still into the area. And now Pandazopoulos, the overlapping run, the cross in, claimed by Ryan Scott. The Jets can breathe a little deeper.
Big half for the Wanderers. Because if the Jets do come back from here, which of course will be their plan, then the heat on the Western Sydney Wanderers will be intense. Now they've got themselves, deservedly, a couple of goals clear. It's up to them to maintain the rage and see if Newcastle have got what it takes. Robbie Stanton, Newcastle's coach, has decided to change things up. Let's see how the Wanderers might cope with this. Let's see if we can get some improvements in a couple of positions. I thought Ben Gibson actually looked pretty sharp for a lot of that first half. So let's see if Clayton Taylor and Vidic up front can make a difference with the Wanderers breaking away, as they did plenty of times in that first half.
Gabriel Cleur again on the front foot. The right back who arrived back in Australia 2 seasons ago in Marco Rudan's Wanderers side. Made just 3 starts last season. Oh, that's very risky from Shushnyar. He's bettered that this evening with his 4th start of the current campaign, and he's keeping Aidan Simmons out of the side at the moment at right back. Here's Shikluna chipping it forward. It's under hit as Milanovic was looking to run onto it. Here is Ingham inside with Vidic. Big strong striker, got a couple of cup goals as well earlier this season. The foul by Shikluna after referee Jack Morgan had a long hard look at it. Grozos, good ball into the feet of Ingham, who left it for Timmins. Now Eli Adams. Haven't seen too much of the number 7 so far anyway. He's done well though. Down to the byline, deflected and claimed by Jordan Holmes. Hasn't had too much to do, the Wanderers keeper so far.
No, Pantozopolis just giving a little bit too much room to Eli Adams, but then closing it down the deflection. Pantozopolis falling for Jordan Holmes, and this is what you like seeing a guy, and I'm going to talk about Pantozopolis now. We just saw the close-up of him. He gets a chance to start a football match. And don't you love a player who responds to that opportunity? I think he's been really strong tonight. Now he's got Jack Clisby up until now in front of him. Jack, a consistent starting 11 player, built a big career. The younger guy has been given a chance, and I think he's done excellently in the first half and a bit.
Well, he really caught the eye in that Oakley side as well. Named one of the players of the tournament. I think he might have been young player of the tournament from that Australia Cup run. And it was the Mike Cockrell winner, if I remember correctly. As here is Graeff with Milanovic. We'll get back to that in a moment. Brillante wide now with Cleur. Drives the ball in, deflected behind, just to finish on Pantozopolis. It was that energy that epitomised that season of his at Oakley when they won the league. They had that great run to the semi-final, the MPL Victoria that is, and the Cup, and he was outstanding, just a teenager then. Taken short. Jets asleep there as it's taken short. There was no one coming out to counter the short corner, and they're going to have another one here as Vidic can't control.
Yeah, just to close the circle on the Pantozopolis chat, that form for Oakley did get him into the A-League. It did get him into an under-23s camp. It didn't get him the Mike Cockrell medal.
Now Shikluna. Cleur from distance. Can you refresh my memory? Was there an Oakley cannon? I think it was.
Now, why do you test me like this on the spot? Is that sport for you?
Ingham. He's been caught late there.
Joe Guest from Oakley did get the Mike Cochran medal a couple of years ago, but I think Tander had shot through by then. Maybe not. Anyway, it was Joe Guest, it was Oakley Cannons, it wasn't Tandazopoulos. Now we can get on with this guy.
Taylor gave it away momentarily, got it straight back again. Natta. Shushnyar. Ingham turns back inside with Bayliss.
I guess one of the questions probably that's going to be ticking over from here is when do we get a chance to see Mata v Natta?
Well, I think that one of the points that's been made so far, aside from the Mata v Natta, is that Alen Stajcic has certainly been justified so far in his selections and the choice of dropping Juan Mata to the bench. The more mobile Zach Sapsford up alongside Brandon Borrello in attack. Now Grozos with Bayliss. In fact, it's Clayton Taylor down that left-hand side. He can't control his effort, which flies behind for a goal kick. Holmes. Tandazopoulos. Sapsford, good ball back for Kraev. Hint of a handball as Milanovic takes over. Referee again saying play on, I think.
Yeah, well, blazing away, Milanovic. Blaming for shooting first time there, but they've had plenty of chances, the Wanderers. A little bit more composure, more judicious use of those opportunities. They could have skipped well clear by now. The Jets really struggling to lay a glove on the Wanderers as it is. But a goal can change everything. We've seen it plenty of times in football. From sitting pretty at 2 up, the Jets could jag one and all hell could break loose. The Wanderers shouldn't be in that situation given their dominance thus far.
Tandazopoulos intercepting Grozos's low pass towards Ingham. The Wanderers recycle possession back through their defensive line with Monetig to Jonte Wook. And now Holmes, the goalkeeper. Monetig again, inviting the press from the Jets, and Ingham's won it back with Adams. Little touch for Timmins. Rides the challenge, Bayliss. Oh, just a little bit not precise enough from the Jets. Brillante and Kleur get it back to their keeper again. Kraev with Brillante. Tandazopoulos wanted it. He was just about to hit the afterburners. Kleur looks long. For Sapsford, oh, he's got the better of Natta. The Wanderers in again here. And Zach Sapsford with a great finish. Gets his first goal of the season into the top corner. And the Wanderers do have a 3-goal cushion now.
Well, the ball over the top on the Harvey Norman replay. Mark Natta was just beaten. All ends up. And he's a handful. Zach Sapsford. Gabriel Kleur curling the ball around beautifully. I'm quite sure what Mark Natta's thinking there, but it's come up very short. Not so the finish from Zach Sapsford. He zips it home. And the Wanderers now with some breathing space. Can they go on further from here? It's a really good finish.
Goal confirmed despite the presence, rather worryingly there for a moment, of a second ball on the pitch that I think had arrived from the crowd at some point. Not great viewing for Jets fans, including our very own Ben Homer. Watching on. It's been a tough evening for Robbie Stanton's young Jets side. Zach Sapsford, who last season scored twice in the derbies against Sydney FC, and confirms what coach Alan Stajic was saying about his number 7, that he was their best attacker in pre-season, their top goal scorer, a player capable of making things happen. Here's Milanovic. Just overplaying it a little bit there, Milanovic, and he's frustrated with himself. He had Sapsford and Borrello in support. Well, the Wanderers have scored 3 for the second week in a row. And perhaps more encouragingly for coach and fans is the fact that they are sitting on a clean sheet, which has been rather rare to come by. And certainly at CommBank Stadium, heading into the back end of last season. Sapsford again earns the free kick off Bayliss. Attacking predominantly down the flanks and predominantly down the right as well, where Gabriel Cleur has had a very good match. The right back, often interchanging positions with Milanovic. He's taken the wing again here, but Scicluna not quite quick enough to get the better of Timmins. Eli Adams with a thunderous challenge in the middle of the park with Josh Brillante. Well, those 2 goals in 3 minutes against MacArthur really thrust Eli Adams into the spotlight. He certainly seemed to embrace it, as we heard in the pre-game when he spoke to Tristan McManus. Here's Gabriel Cleur. Looking for Milanovic. Picked off by Clayton Taylor. Now Aquilina. Timmins. With Bayliss and still. The press from Borrello and Sapsford is very effective. That first line of defence. Shushnya long, just hung in the air too long towards Taylor, allowed Cleur the time to get back. Borrello. Dante Wook with Jordan Holmes. Here's Bonating. Once again are able to play their way out of Newcastle's press. There is the ladder as it stands. It's the Western Sydney Wanderers who climb above Newcastle with this result and into the 6, provisionally at least in this opening match of the round. Panazopoulos, still going Panazopoulos. It's a good stop by Scott. Might just have been going wide, but Scott wasn't to know that. More positive football from the young number 22. Borrello, Sapsford, space again for Milanovic. Scicluna strikes wide of the mark. Let's head down to Tristan McManus on the sidelines. Tristan, what was the reaction to that third goal down there?
Yeah, it was pure deflation here. I mean, Rob Stanton has been frustrated from the minute one up until now, and rightly so. I mean, I tried to give the credit of the doubt there at half-time that maybe there was an injury, but he's just been ruthless. He's not getting what he wants from his players, and he's sending that message out there that if you don't give me what I want, I'm taking you off. I think he's looking at the bench to see what else he can get going here. But Wanderers are a different animal here. When they go us against the world, that's what's happening, and it's great to see. It really is. But they need something from the Jets. He needs something to show. It's just pride at this stage, I think.
Thank you, Tristan, down there on the sidelines. Yeah, the options on the bench, the remaining options for Robbie Stanton, Philip Kankar, the central defender, Matthew Scarcella. As here goes Eli Adams, gets the cross in, deflected. There may be something yet for the Jets. Timmins always rising as he tried to just control a side foot shot at goal. Nathan Grimaldi, the others. So three rather defensive options on the bench for Robbie Stanton at the moment. And we're going to have a double change at the other end. Western Sydney, Oscar Priestman comes on to replace Josh Brillante. And Panazopoulos, who's got through a good 62 minutes, makes way. That'll be a straight swap at left back with Jack Clisby. So far, everything going according to plan for Alan Stadjic.
Well, the next little question for the Wanderers is their red and black man chasing now, Gabriel Clerc. More on that later.
As here goes Taylor into the area. Oh, now he's gone down under that challenge. Referee says there was nothing in it. They're going to have a little look at it. Let's have a look here, Andy. What do you make of this?
Taywalk's gone down pretty early.
Oh, there's contact.
Totally. I guess the only question for the VAR is, has Clayton Taylor looked for the leg? Because it was down really early. My guess is that that's what the referee first saw, that it might get all overturned. The incredulous Jets fans looking for something. Throw us a bone somewhere.
Jack Morgan's going to come across and have a look, and aside from the fact that often when a referee is invited to come and have another look at it, it does result in a change. But looking at the replay, that looked like a penalty every day of the week from Taywalk, who just left the leg out dangerously as Clayton Taylor came charging through.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a penalty. He did go very early. You see how early he's gone down there? I reckon the refs watched it and thought maybe Clayton Taylor's looked for that. But it's going to be a penalty. It has to be, sure.
Well, he's having a look at it again. Now, are they looking to see the angle of the ball, perhaps? Which way it went and whether... I mean, there is clear contact. He's running full speed into the area, goes around the player, and then is collected by the leg with his next step. Well, everyone appealed in the stadium. The Jets fans...
I don't know what needs to be seen, really.
Well, we're going to hear now from the man himself, Jack Morgan, with the referee's announcement.
After review, number 8 has tripped the attacker. It's a penalty.
Well, a lifeline for the Newcastle Jets. John Taywalk. It was a naive challenge, really, in the area with a player arriving at speed like that. He dangled the leg out there, and we have a penalty for Costa Grozos to try and get his side back into the match. Only one other penalty in the A-League for Costa Grozos. Against MacArthur. It was in the Cup a couple of months ago. He went to Jordan Holmes's left that day as he steps up again here. Costa Grozos goes that way again, this time into the top corner. And the Jets have a lifeline, perhaps something a little bit more. Midway through the second half, they're on the scoreboard. There's no clean sheet for the Wanderers, but is there more to come?
That's a really good penalty. Not to concede, it's really poor defending from Jong Tae-wook, and it's beautifully dispatched on the Harvey Norman replay by Costa Grozos. And the Jets, signs of life.
Well, he got one goal last year against Alan Stagic's Perth. Did Costa Grozos. Now he's got his first this year against Alan Stagic's Western Sydney Wanderers. It's been an improved second half from Robbie Stanton's side. From 60-40 possession in the first half, it's 50-50 in the second, and while the Wanderers continue to dominate the shots at goal, perhaps that penalty will just give the Jets the belief to keep going. I think Aquilina has come down and landed on Brandon Borello there. It looked quite painful. What I think was probably the right shin of Brandon Borello. There is Juan Mata watching from the sidelines, the Spanish wizard. And Stajic is looking on. Now Brandon Borello's just been called back to the Socceroos this morning, of course. There he's no hard feelings with Aquilina. You can see the damage that's been done, so it was right shin. Look at that sock.
Yes, now I need to make that point about Gabriel Clerc, because a couple of changes have been made by Stajic. Gabriel Clerc has hit the wall at about 65 minutes a couple of times this season. Now this game hasn't had the same sort of intensity, but it has had a little bit more heat. Interesting to see if his conditioning, that if it's a simple matter of that, has improved in preparation. Tillingly in the derby, first game of the season, he went down with cramp, and the time it took really affected the Wanderers' momentum. So decent set of mothballs in that tackle. Silverfish, I think it's the opposite.
What millimetre are those silverfish? Because that looked a little bit nasty.
About 3 centimetres in sharp.
Well, he has also picked up a yellow card in every match so far this season, Clerc, as Natta does better this time than he did against Sapsford earlier for that third goal. Zach Sapsford is a young player with plenty of talent who's been only shown it really in bit parts. Now he's gone down with a bit of cramp and is going to need some assistance. Kraev is there to help him. right calf cramping up. Brandon Borello. Look at that leg of Brandon Borello as well, which is bleeding. Just that right shin. And there is movement down on the Wanderers bench. Saw Aidan Hammond there. And I see Marcus Antonsen, but I don't see Juan Mata. Not yet. Looks like those changes are going to come immediately. So after Clisby and Priestman, Hammond and Antonsen are ready to come on as play continues. Oh, into the area. What does the referee make of that? Play continues. Nick Milanovic is convinced that there was contact, that he should have a penalty now. And the VAR is back on it.
Surely.
Well,
I mean,
well, everyone in the ground has just seen it as well, Andy, and has the same reaction as you. And he's going to have to come and have another look at this. Jack Morgan, it's Mark Natter again, who was...
I think he knows his goose is cooked. Sapsford did him for...
Oh, now,
There's a bit of...
if we look at the penalty spot here, Ryan Scott's just come out and been stepping on the penalty spot. Dylan Shikluna has raced across to remonstrate with him. Brandon Borello as well, who's holding the ball to take the penalty. So a bit of gamesmanship behind the scenes.
Well, striker beats defender. Defender sticks out leg. Striker falls up.
That's the definition, I think.
It's pretty straightforward.
Brandon Borello has only taken one penalty with Western Sydney. It was in April 2023, and he missed it against Melbourne City. Before that, his previous penalty in the A-League was for Brisbane Roar in April 2017, and it was against the Western Sydney Wanderers, and he scored it. Well, he's holding the ball at the moment as Jack Morgan has another look at what looks almost to be textbook example of a penalty. Let's hear what he has to say.
After review, number 33 has tripped the attacker. It's a penalty to West Sydney.
Natter knew the sentence that was about to fall, and the Western Sydney Wanderers will have a chance from 12 yards to restore their 3-goal lead. And Brandon Borello has now given the ball to Nick Milanovic. His only previous penalty came in the cup against Sydney United, his boyhood club. He scored there, basically straight down the middle and low. This for his hat-trick. Milanovic against Scott, and he drives it into the bottom left-hand corner. Again, Scott got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. And Nick Milanovic is the Wanderers' hat-trick hero.
Harvey Norman replay shows that it's Milanovic who wins the penalty. Mark Natter has coughed up for goal 3 and goal 4 for the Wanderers. Not a happy night for him, but it's a hat-trick night for Nick Milanovic. Having won the penalty, makes no mistake with its execution. Ryan Scott beaten to his right, but it's got too much sting. And the Wanderers clear at 4-1.
The first ever A-League hat-trick for Nick Milanovic after braces for the Wanderers against Western Sydney. Against Western United, rather, and Adelaide United. It's his last kick of the contest. Those two braces both came last season. He's got one better this evening, and he gets a deserved early shower, replaced by Aidan Hammond. On the right side of the attack, Zach Sapsford, who got his name on the score sheet as well, also makes way. He's replaced by Antonsen. No way through for Taylor. Borello. Just crowded out, sandwiched by the Jets, who are making a fairly unhappy unveiling of their new away kit for this season. For the first time, the white kit. Those superstitious Jets fans will not want to christen it with a heavy defeat, but it looks like being that way. Mark Natter pays the price. Philip Kankar comes on for him, and Scarcella comes on as well for his first appearance of this A-League season. He replaces Lockie Bayliss in the middle of the park. Great working back from Brandon Borello. That's the energy that he brings. And there's a hand against Eli Adams. John with Clare. So all 5 changes made by Robbie Stanton. We still have 12 minutes left, plus stoppages. Shushnyar. Back to Ryan Scott. Scott Kankar outside. Oh, he hesitated. In the end, found the right solution with Ingham. Priestman cuts out the pass towards Adams. Scarcella. Good ball driven in towards the edge of the area. His first contribution is a good one, but it's cleared towards Borello. Antonsen left to do the chasing as Aidan Hammond, who scored in the derby against Sydney FC, in the end a goal that was just a consolation. Spent time as a youngster in Portugal, Aidan Hammond. Of youth academies there as here's Taylor, the cross, Vidic, it's a lovely touch. Oh, and he just couldn't fire the shot away. Clayton Taylor has it again. It's not finished yet for the Jets. Aquilina's ball in. Timmins, his shot is blocked by Kraev. Borello again. Now Timmins has gone down after colliding with Brandon Borello there, who seemed a little apologetic. He's still down in the box as the Jets play on with Aquilina. Outside with Clayton Taylor. Still Timmins is down in the area. Ball gets away from Eli Adams and then he fouls Aidan Hammond.
Well, that That was a lovely close bit of control from Vidic, but well defended. I mean, the Wanderers have been pretty sharp defending their own penalty area with just the one blemish for the penalty. I mean, at the same time, one must say that the Jets have fallen well short of putting the Wanderers under much pressure at all. It's been a pretty flaccid performance from Newcastle.
Well, Jordan Holmes hasn't had much to do. Just one clearance. That's a nice touch from Antonsen. His cross is blocked by Kankar. Jordan Holmes yet to make a save. Conceding from the penalty. There he is. Out on the edge of the centre circle. Jordan Holmes at the moment. Vidic turning, bundled over by Clisby. Ingham. Kankar. Shushnyar. Grozos goes long towards Eli Adams. Dealt with by Jong Tae-wook. Good strength again from the Korean defender. Now Antonsen. Oh, that's a cynical challenge by Timmins. And he goes into the book. And we're going to see Juan Mata with just over 7 minutes left. It's Dylan Shikluna who makes way. Good performance in the middle of the park. Perhaps Dylan Shikluna, the smile there, just pinching himself on coming off, receiving the ovation, and Juan Mata replaces me.
And of course the applause was all for him.
With your side up by 4-1. Mata joins the action as here's Grab looking for Borello. Might yet have been number 5. It looks initially, at least, as though Juan Mata has gone like for Shikluna into the centre of midfield.
And I think the sooner the Wanderers can settle down, and tonight's a big tonic for that. Combinations can get set, players' form can get consistent. This is just my observation now. The sooner you'd like to think Juan Mata can be integrated, because they're definitely going to be a better team with him contributing.
There's no doubt they've struggled to find him and bring him into the game so far this season. Mind you, it's still early days. Clayton Taylor. Well defended by Mata. Taylor again. Aidan Hammond back helping out. The cross is not a bad one either. Monatig did well. Kankar following up. And he screws the shot wide.
It's another big step up from Monatig again tonight. Now again, they haven't been under extraordinary amounts of pressure, but when there's been challenges there to win, Monatig, it's not that he's been a shrinking violet before, but that central defensive duo for the Wanderers hasn't set the tone required. Tonight they've been much better. Both good players. I mean, Monatig's a delightful player to watch. And the Korean Jong Tae-wook can play as well. Just got to get some of the dirtier work done, a little bit more convincingly, which tonight I think has been a big step forward for both.
No surprises for the Paramount Plus Player Index, with a standout performance from Nick Milanovic, his first ever A-League hat-trick, completed from the penalty spot before taking a well-earned rest. His attentions will now turn to recovery during the international break and dreaming of his own debut in green and gold, perhaps a little bit closer after this evening. As the ball dinked in, Jong wins the initial header. It's allowed to bounce though. Jordan Holmes comes. A little misunderstanding there between Jong and Bonatig. Could have proved costly on another occasion, but not this evening. Jordan Holmes telling all his teammates to get forward. Long, one in the air by Shushnyar. Vidic. A couple of nice touches from Vidic as he gets it wide to Taylor. The cross, back post. Oh, and Scarcella, who was arriving at the back post, just couldn't steer it goalwards. He switched flanks with Taylor, and Clayton Taylor almost making an immediate impact.
Well, it's a good raid down the right from the Jets. Have been few and far between. The Wanderers' defence breached, and ball across was a difficult one. Gabriel Clerc, who looks like he's running the game out, which I think is a big tonic, positive tonic for the Wanderers and the player himself. He was in a very sticky situation on that back post.
Scarcella made 6 appearances for Sydney FC last season after returning from a spell at Santi in Greece after Sydney Olympic. Hammond turned into trouble. Scarcella returns the favour. Here's Mata. Busy on the ball immediately, the Spaniard, all the way back to Bonatig. Lisby. Bonatig back to Holmes. One in the air by Aquilina, helped on. Grozos with Vidic. He's been a willing runner so far since coming on. Big number 29. He's won the throw on that far side of the field. Got a double against Rockdale in the cup. Vidic. Before the Jets lost to MacArthur in that run, the eventual cup winners. Antonsen. Still got new Socceroo Brandon Borello on the pitch alongside him. Clisby. Borello wants it at the back post. Clisby's seen him, but it's not the right ball. Gets the thumbs up from the Wanderers skipper, who's led by example this evening in terms of the attitude, the approach to the game, the spirit. The fact that he'll have the battle scars to show for it after that collision with Aquilina as well. That heavy knock on that right shin. Here's Hammond with Clerc. Priestman trying to thread the ball through to Antonsen. Timmins. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Adams into the area. The cross. Clayton Taylor.
Well, he's been busy, Clayton Taylor. show great aptitude with that header. Otherwise, he's been good across the ground. Eli Adams just dinking the ball in. Of the players available, Newcastle need, in current form, they're getting the ball to Eli Adams a little bit more frequently. It's easy to sit and make these pronouncements. It's been a big night for the Wanderers. Big bounce back for them. Game they had to win, and next time they're at home they're going to have to win, and the game after that they're going to have to win. One hot day doesn't make a summer, even though we're still in spring.
Good ball again, looking for Taylor, but just overhead. The XG, another of the statistics very much in Wanderers' favour, 2.01 compared to just 1.09 for the Jets. Both sides converting penalties. But the Wanderers 18 shots to 9. It was an improved second half performance from the Jets in that department as well, with the introduction of Vidic and Taylor. More recently, Scarcella. But just the one effort on target, that was Grozos' penalty that found the back of the net. Aquilina with Vidic. Scarcella with Timmins. Now Ingham. Dane Ingham brings it onto the left foot, tries to curl it. Great save. Fingertip stuff from Jordan Holmes, who's done everything asked of him on his first appearance of the season.
Again, largely untested tonight, but he's late in the game. Very, very good there, Jordan Holmes. That was a nice effort from Dane Ingham.
Now the cross, back in, back post. Oh, that's a brilliant save. If the last was very good, that was outstanding. With an outstretched right boot. It looked like a certain goal at the back post.
And should have been. Sushinya unmarked, good in the air. Can't beat the keeper from close range. John Taylor there just to make sure there's no further damage.
Taylor again, the Jets looking for a second consolation goal to finish this match. Adams. No way through Priestman. Bojidar Kraev. It's been workmanlike from him this evening without being spectacular. Lisby looks beyond towards Borello with Mata. Under pressure from Shushnya, he finds Kraev, wants an option, gets it from Hammond. Aidan Hammond taking on Ingham. Aidan Hammond still going. His teammates looking with that arms raised question of, here I am for the option. But it will quickly be forgotten, because the main thing to remember from this evening is that after 6 consecutive home defeats, the Western Sydney Wanderers are back in the winner's circle, and they've done it confidently on the back of an outstanding Nicholas Milanovic hat-trick. 2 goals in the first half, a penalty 15 minutes from time. Zach Sapsford was also on the score sheet in there 10 minutes into the second half. The Jets pulled one back from the penalty spot through their captain Costa Grozos midway through the second half. But this one was never in doubt. Brandon Borello not on the score sheet, but captains his side to victory on the day he was recalled to the Socceroos for the upcoming international window. Disappointment for the Jets, not back to the drawing board, but a concerning result for Robbie Stanton. Well done, Alan Stajic. Well done, the Western Sydney Wanderers, because the pressure was on this evening and they found all the answers. It's finished here at Combank. Wanderers 4, Jets 1. And let's head straight down to Tristan McManus.
Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, I'm here with Sassford. Zach, You needed a performance. What an emphatic way to end that run, huh?
Yeah, no, we needed that, and I think we showed tonight that that's what we're capable of, and hopefully we can bring that with the next couple of games coming up. We've got a break, but Sydney Derby next, so we'll bring that again for the Sydney Derby, so we'll be ready.
Yeah, I guess there was a bit of a fear there when we saw you coming off. You're obviously strapped there, a bit of ice as well, and the face mask is almost like Gaddafi's these days. Were you going to keep that? You going to keep that when you get better?
No, I don't think so. I don't like it that much, but you know, I need it to play, so I'm happy to wear it right now. But the second I don't need it, it'll be off straight away.
Well, tell us about